Hello. Today I am going to be answering y'all's questions for the Q&A. Wowee. Y'all can sit back, relax, and we gonna be talking about a sad planet because that's really interesting and yeah, we just gonna chat about that and have a good time. And not have this video scripted because I was too lazy to write one. But anyways, we just gonna get started. It's really goddamn loud right now. Sorry if you can hear that. One dude has a freaking chainsaw and is using it right now in the crack of dawn because he feels like it. But that's okay, because I don't have any better time to record this video. So anyways, question 1. When did you first develop your OCs? So as not many of you know, my two main characters, and the two first characters I've ever made, are named Arsenic and Krypton. The red and green ones I often portray on this channel. The story goes that one day in like November 2017 or sometime, it was like the day after Thanksgiving, I was in my room listening to some Christmas music because Christmas, wow, yes, Christmas time. And I was drawing, and I drew these two characters. One was red, one was green, because Christmas colors, wow. I ended up falling in love with them, and I named them. But I did not call them Arsenic and Krypton at the time. Their names were Miss Mayhem and Mr. Mystery. I know, very edgy, very dumb. Which is kind of true now, because those are their last names, currently. But I call them by their first names like a normal person now. For some reason back then, I didn't. A few months later, I realized, Miss Mayhem, Mr. Mystery, that is pretty dumb. That is pretty edgy. So I closed my eyes, and I pointed to the periodic table of elements, and randomly selected two of them, sulfur and phosphorus, but those ended up not sticking and sounding too boring and too edgy. So I tried again a few days later, and I randomly selected Arsenic and Krypton. Well, it wasn't random, it was based on how cool they sounded and like their personalities. But yeah, those ones stuck, thus giving us Arsenic Mayhem and Krypton Mystery, my two main characters of today. I don't know why that was an inspirational story, but I digress. Question 2. How many OCs do you have? I have about 30, some of which are just character designs that have no personality whatsoever, but I'm currently too lazy to count which ones are actually characters and which ones are just designs. But if you go on my toy house, wink wink, you can find all of the background info and all of the characters and all the information on the characters and all the weird stuff. Shameless plug. Wow. Yippee hooray. So I told you I was gonna talk a little bit about a sad planet, so I will. I'm gonna do a brief overview, and I'm gonna make it the nutshelliest I can because this is a short, chill video, and I don't want to think too much. Thinking too much gives you wrinkles. Basically, the story takes place on a planet called Maa. And on Maa, nothing really catastrophic happens. It's all good. It's like divinely controlled by some otherworldly being. And no catastrophes happen. There's no racism. There's no war. There's no major problems. But anyways, the people who live on Maa and are originally from Maa are called Modins. And the people, like the aliens, or the foreigners, are called Antikais. And Antikais move to Maa and they live in harmony and there's no like clashes between them. They're all nice and good. But the problem is that Maa can seem very dreary and draining of spirit, and nobody really enjoys being there. Even though it's like all colorful and stuff, it seems cool, but it's like all sad. That's why it's called a sad planet. Oh geez. So yeah, there's a bunch of highly unrealistic scenarios where no one fights, no one has wars, Antikais and Modins don't fight, it's all good. You would think like Modins would think Antikais were like different and like racism happens, but Antikais are actually praised and considered special to the Modins, which is a nice thing. So the only big problem, I guess, is that Maa's a terrible, creepy, sad, arid world that doesn't really make sense, and it has a strange feeling to it that no one seems to know the cause of, but at least they're together. It was a bad idea not scripting this, I swear to God. So yeah, the main character is Arsenic, which is the name of my channel. And she feels very down all the time. She's very sad and like She feels insignificant, basically. She's look weird, awkward, and so many anti-Kais are special and she's not. Well, that's part of her sadness, but she just thinks that everybody is insignificant and that we all die one day. That's her mindset. She's really dramatic. And she has a crush on this little other modern boy named Krypton. Woohoo. So throughout the story, she basically tries to get with Krypton, which kind of works a little bit, just a little. Then they separate. And though they seem to be a match made in heaven and the opposites attract, they're like the exact opposite of each other. They don't work and nothing really matters in the end. But some side problems are Krypton's family with his dad's death and stuff and his whole life. Another side problem, I guess, is Polly Perazino, who is Arsenic's second aunt and also her history teacher. She has this disease called mafigo, which causes the color in her body to fade, and she's gray, basically. She originally was red, just like Arsenic, like they were similar people, but just about when Polly was Arsenic's age, her color faded, and she became sad. She's sort of like a mentor to Arsenic, and she kind of teaches Arsenic her mistakes and how to live, how to not waste your life, and knowing what's right. Arsenic learns that sometimes there is no happily ever after, and sometimes what seems like true love or whatever is just a middle school crush that treats you wrong. Polly sort of teaches her that. Arsenic and Krypton go separate ways, and Krypton learns how to make his mother happy because she was very distraught by her husband's death. He also learns about like emotional maturity and like how to not be a little bitch, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, kids, the moral of the story is that sometimes there's no happily ever after, and there's no true love, and stories don't end in true love all the time, but love doesn't have to exist like that. You can live without it. You know, you have your family and you have whatever you got, and you gotta make the most of that. I think that's a really nice concept and a lesson in life that never gets talked about. Finding your Prince Charming in middle school, it doesn't happen that much. And even if your miracle doesn't happen, you'll live. But anyways, even though that lasted a really long time, I tried to make it a nutshell thing. There's a lot of stuff I have floating around in my mind about A Sad Planet and the whole story. Literally all the information is on my toy house, which I have linked in the description, as always. Speaking of advertising, why don't y'all subscribe? Because I'm almost at 1K. And, you know, when you get to 1K, you can use the community tab. You get monetized. I don't have enough watch minutes or whatever for that, but it's a nice important milestone for me, and it would be wonderful if you did. If you don't want to, that's fine, but please do it. Please, thank you. Question number 3, I think. I don't even know. Favorite artist. Right now I really like the Smashing Pumpkins, but I think overall I've always really liked Evanescence. I know that sounds real edgy, but I grew up with it. I had it sang to me, my mom listened to it, and it's just, they have really nice songs. I know y'all think she's real emo and stupid and stuff, and like, wake me up inside, call my name, and save me. But the band makes real nice music. Another quirk I'd like to talk about is Dooley and Courtois, which, if y'all didn't know, are Krypton's parents. Yes, Courtois, the single mom. And yes, Dooley, the dad who died before his son was born. It's this really stupid coincidental thing that happened with the two of them as I was making them. I sound really southern today, I don't know why, but... So, the funny thing is that Dooley is Welsh, right? And most of y'all are American. I don't know, some of y'all might be Welsh or English. But the thing, like the stereotype with Welsh people is that they're sheepshaggers, which means they insert picture. And the thing with Courtois, Dooley's wife, is that she's a goat. I didn't notice that until later, and I'm like, okay, I didn't do that on purpose. But hopefully people don't think I did it on purpose, because that'd be pretty embarrassing. But yeah, that's the coincidental thing I wanted to talk about. Wow. Oh geez. Ain't that something? Question number 4. Favorite music genre? I like rock, because I'm emo. Sometimes I like pop music, and sometimes I like EDM. Sometimes I like R&B, but mostly rock. Yup. Any genre could have good music, but y'all heard me. Whoa, do you guys know what time it is? It's time to talk about Krypton's hair! Wow, yeah. So, as you guys can clearly tell, the top of Krypton's head looks like a Christmas tree. And I'd like to explain why. So, flashback to November 2017. The first drawing I ever made of the two musketeers. Krypton's hair doesn't look all that weird. It's kind of long. That's okay. But I remember there was one major change from that weird long hair to like weirder, spikier, longer hair. Half a year after their creation. I'll show you guys like the exact picture. Ever since the change from okay looking hair to Hiro Hamada looking hair, he has evolved into more of a Christmas tree resemblance, but that was the major change. And now we have this. Wow. Final question. Do you like traditional or digital art better? I've always thought traditional art, like, looked better for some reason. Like, if you made the same image traditionally as opposed to digitally, I feel like the traditional art would be, like, more pleasing to the eye. I don't know why. I've always just thought that. It depends, but if I had to answer, I'd say traditional art, because why not? Personally, I make more traditional art, so that might have to do with it. So yeah, with that, remember to subscribe, get me to 1K, I'm almost there, whoop-de-doo! Check out all my links. I have a Spotify now, all that, and an Apple Music, go check those out. My first and only release so far is my song A Sad Planet, but y'all can look forward to more music in the future, because I know my music is so good, y'all are gonna listen to it so much. I have a toy house, which I've already mentioned. I have an Instagram and a SoundCloud too. Go in the description and click on every single link and follow me there on all of them because I told you so. But anyways, it's a wrap. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.